Hi, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. With only 2 days to Christmas, I've only got 2 of these videos remaining. As you know, I've been doing 24 days of Doctor Who where I review 24 classic Doctor Who stories to the build up for Christmas. And today, it is currently New Year's Christmas Eve, but Happy Christmas Eve! I've only got 2 more of these actually now. The Curse of Peladon is today's one, and then tomorrow is the Sea Devils. So yeah, we've only got 2 more of these videos to go now, which is crazy how fast that has come around. The fact that I started these videos on the 1st of December and was uploading them every single day from the 2nd onwards. It is just crazy how much time has flown by since I started this whole 24 days of Doctor Who thing. Now this is incredible. Ignore my cat asleep. I know my hand from. But yeah, so without further ado, let's go on with the video. So as you know, from season 7 onwards of Doctor Who, the Doctor has been exiled on Earth, and the Curse of Peladon is the Time Lords controlling exactly where the Doctor needs to go. And he has to go to Peladon. Now, Alpha Centauri lives there. There is going to be a reason why. He lives there, and because he lives there, a few years later, he becomes the ruler of the planet, if you like. And in the 12th Doctor story, when they go to Mars, the Doctor calls Alpha Centauri and they welcome the Ice Warriors to Peladon, which is really nice. The Doctor acts as an Earth delegate. He's not the real Earth delegate, because in part 4 the real Earth delegate obviously comes to Peladon, but he pretends to be the Earth delegate, which is a really interesting way to project a story like this. Now, I like the Curse of Peladon for so many reasons. It has so many good points. You meet the Ice Warriors, but we know the Doctor has a history with the Ice Warriors. It's not uncommon, it's quite a common thing. But these Ice Warriors that the Doctor meets don't seem to be Ice Warriors intent on destroying the universe. They are just Ice Warriors who have come to Peladon to start themselves a new life, because that is essentially what Peladon is all about. Creatures starting brand new lives, and I think this is such a nice concept, because it just goes to show in the Whoniverse that not every single creature or versions of Ice Warriors meet, not all of them are going to be evil. Some are just looking to start a new life. And the Doctor portrays Jo as a member of royal blood. Now, this is because the leader says that only people with royal blood are allowed to come to Peladon. So the Doctor goes, this is Josephine, this is Princess Josephine of TARDIS. He obviously says TARDIS because he can't say Earth, and he can't say Gallifrey either, not unless him and Jo were technically related as a father and daughter thing, because he introduced my character when I rewrote the Curse of Peladon to include my character. He introduced my character as Princess Phoebe of Gallifrey, which makes a lot of sense in so many ways. The other reason why I like Curse of Peladon is because it's just a nice 4-part light story. I mean, I know Day of the Daleks is a 4-part story, but that's quite heavy. That's not sort of a, if you come back from a long day out, it's not the sort of story that you want to put on, if that makes sense. You want to put on a nice kind of light-hearted story, and this is what Curse of Peladon does incredibly well. It makes you feel it's a light-hearted story, and it's such a good one. It's definitely a recommendation for you new Whovians out there. I love this story deep down because there is such a meaning to this story as well, because it goes to show there are some planets in the universe where it's just calm and there's aliens living amongst aliens, and they're not always rogue aliens, and that goes to show. The Doctor naturally meets the King, and the King obviously trusts him, and that is amazing. I love this because the Doctor isn't taken prisoner in this case. He's just being himself, for once not getting captured at the first sign of trouble, which I generally really do like on this story. I think it's definitely very good. Bear with me whilst I just get myself a drink. I do these videos for a long period of time, and yet I forget. But this story, what it does greatly is it makes you fall in love with the King. Now, the King had a slight crush on Jo, and he does ask Jo to be his queen, which is definitely an interesting way to go. But this story has everything that is new to Doctor Who, but I think works, because this is sort of a, yes, it has aliens like the Ice Warriors in it, and it has Alpha Centauri, who isn't actually a villain. He's just a kind little alien trying to make his way in the universe. And then you obviously have the King, who again is a human themed alien, and he falls in love with Jo, which is a normal human response. And you can see that on Peladon, these people are just trying to make a life for themselves. They're not out to destroy the universe, they're not out to hurt the Doctor, they're not out to cause trouble in the universe. They're just trying to make a life for themselves on this small planet. They're trying their hardest to be who they are, and that is definitely a really nice way to put this story, and I think it has such a deep meaning for Doctor Who to do something like this. I also like how this just comes after Day of the Daleks. So Day of the Daleks, an action-packed adventure, and this one isn't. Naturally, the leader's team grab the TARDIS for the Doctor when it falls down a cliff, because obviously the TARDIS doesn't exactly do a great landing, because the Time Lords programmed it for Peladon, so wherever it was going to land, it was down to the Time Lords controlling the console, not the Doctor. And I think the Doctor finds that incredibly controlling, that the Time Lords have control of the console, because if he had landed on Peladon, he wouldn't have landed in such a stupid place. The TARDIS, if he had control, which obviously in this case he doesn't, but if he had, then the TARDIS wouldn't have landed in such a stupid place and toppled down the mountain, because the Doctor would have been careful about, before he materialised on the planet, he would have logically thought as the Doctor does, and it is very expressly, he does kind of think about where to park before he lands the TARDIS. He does want to obviously, you know, be very vigilant of where he parks, because he doesn't want the TARDIS coming in danger, although she is very tough. The TARDIS, I will admit, is a very tough person and she can basically cope with anything, but this case he doesn't particularly get to choose, and him and Joe basically have to hike up the mountain to get to where they're going. So overall this is a very, very good story. It's a light-hearted story, and I feel like you sometimes need that in Doctor Who. I feel like sometimes you can forget that there are monsters in the universe that do try and kill the Doctor. So I think this is a very, very light-hearted Doctor Who story. So overall I would probably give this a 10 out of 10 because it works really well. I like how it's another 4-part story, so it's not too long. You can really, really sink your teeth into this story and really, really thoroughly enjoy it. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you did, and make sure you click the subscribe button down below to get notifications to be part of the Who's Phoebe family if you like Doctor Who so much. And also click that little bell icon so you get notifications about every single time I upload. I'm so glad you guys have been enjoying 24 days of Doctor Who. I will be doing this again next year because it is a lot less tedious and I find it enjoyable. Allons-y!